Hello and welcome to a very special Gundam Battle Operation 2 featuring the Guncannon mass production type. Now, it is called a mass production suit, though it was produced in limited numbers. It used a lesser grade of armor, though still fairly robust, and moved to using GIM or GM parts to ease the production cost. It's a victim of the increase in mobile combat, oddly enough, and therefore the decrease in specialized suits. However, it is a pretty dang good suit for what it is. In game, it's a 300 to 500 cost ground and space capable support with a ballistic resistance of 10, a beam resistance of 15, and a melee resistance of 5. So your pillow armor is still there. Range strength is 28 and its melee strength is 2. It could have been 5, but they wanted to go that extra mile there. Its movement speed is not a horrible for support's 115, and it has a thrust gauge of 50. For parts, we got close range of 2, medium and long range of 9. I think we know what they're more interested in, it being a long to medium ranged capable unit. For equipment, we do have in its main armament selection a bullpup machine gun or the 100mm machine gun times 2. The bullpup does 146 damage a shot, has 35 rounds, and has a range of 200 meters. Sorry. And the other option is the 100mm machine guns times 2, has 130 per shot, 40 rounds, and a 250 range. I wonder what most people will pick. Then, of course, we have for melee, we have blow, because they wanted to make that an easy joke. For our other armaments, probably what most people would consider the main armament of this suit, we have the telescopic 240mm cannon times 2. These are mounted on the shoulders, or the power pack if you prefer. They have 550 range, 12 shots, though there's about 4 seconds between those shots, and it shoots 2 rounds, 1 from each cannon, and they do about 650 damage, with a little bit of splash damage in there. They are fantastic for messing people up, for tripping up units, and taking some long-range shots at people. It'd be your main damage dealer. Then we have the head-mounted Vulcans late type. It's 150 range. I just wish it was straight bumped up to 200. 30 rounds, 67 damage a shot. Meh. For skills, we have high performance radar level 2, high performance scope, observational data link, frontline support system, precision shelling. If you ever remember or have the time to actually crouch, that can be quite useful. High performance radar, aerospace gimbal, high spec MBAC, and anti-stealth, which is actually a nice thing to have on this unit. My opinions of this unit is it's a great mid-range support for how limited it is. It can do a lot of damage. It can trip people up. With the 200mm, it can put a lot of pressure on people, but it's very limited in those regards. It's very slow, even by 1-year war standards. Not as slow as some, but still very slow. And it can get torn apart very easily. But it was a struggle for me to get something reasonable in it, and let's go and see that match.
Hello and welcome to the match, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic beginning of your week, and this is a unit that's been a long time coming in terms of getting a recording for. Honestly, it's not the hardest one I've gotten a recording for, considering, but it just took a while to find one I thought was, well, a decent match for it, and wasn't a squash match in one way or the other. So we're going to start this off. I'm going to check my stuff, as you see. I'm just checking all my items, just to refamiliarize myself with it. And I'm going to push forward. I'm going to take a position here. I'm going to use the angle of the roof as a little bit of a shield initially, because I wanted to scout out where they were. And I see a guy near D. I'm a little worried about someone coming around on the other side, but aside, I'm going to switch over here. I'm not going to quite be able to make that shot, but we're going to try to throw it in there. We see this guy down here. We're going to fire, catch him in the legs, throw a little bit of 100mm at him, fire again, get him with the splash. We're going to test out the guns on there, and we're just going to keep badgering him. I don't know why he thought he was going to be able to hide there, but we're just going to basically kind of tie him up. And I believe that's the one Zaku. We'll take a shot over there, but we're not going to spend too much time. I noticed there's a lad that's come up around here, and my white dingo has been on him, so we're going to team up with him a little bit. I do congratulate this guy on being so aggressive that he was just like, I'm going to take you both on. And I'm just going to keep peppering him with the 100mm. Going to fire that into his legs. Now, I know the Gelgoog is a little notorious for having fragile legs, so I'm effectively doing that because in a straight-up fight, I'm not fighting him. So I'm going to push back over here. I see that guy. I'm going to take a shot, but I'm a little too short range. So I decide it's time to move up in support of my team. I have the 240s equipped, but I'm going to switch over to the machine guns, fire a few shots down the way. I'm going to jump up here. Now, I see that there's going to be support fire coming in, so I go, oh crap. And I immediately get hit by it, as tradition demands. But I'm going to try to take a shot in. I'm going to get the splash damage on that Gelgoog, but I'm like, I don't want to keep messing my guys up. So I come up so I can put the 100mm into a little bit of play. I'm going to basically just be annoying to this Gelgoog, tie him up a little bit. I see a guy is behind us. I'm going to come up, fire into him, and I'm going to push him with the hundreds. Try to effectively team up with a white dingo here, but I'm going to have a problem because, well, we've got a Zaku too. We're going to throw over the 100mm at him, and we're just going to try to maneuver this way because, again, this unit is not fantastic in those kind of fights. Fire, catch him in the legs, switch over to hundreds to pepper him a little bit. Fire again, catch him with the splash, throw a little bit more down that way. But I can't get a firing angle there, but he comes back out this direction for some reason, and we finish him off. Now, we're going to get ignored a little bit. Now, I do understand he has two guys giving him pressure, so he's bailing out of that situation. So I'm going to turn over here. I'm going to try to get some shots down into this other Gelgoog. Unfortunately, only part of my shots are getting in there. And I'm going to try to... Okay, there we go. Finish him off there. And the white dingoes are having a little bit of a trouble this way. I go to the machine guns because I don't want to shoot the cannons into, well, a crowd of my own guys. So we're just going to hold off, drop down, and I'm going to try to reposition a little bit after I see the pilot. So here's our war crime for the evening, and we'll move right on. Because he definitely needed both of those cannons used on him. So we see there's a bomb plant and this guy spawned behind us. We're going to turn to face him because I really don't want him smackarooning me in the back. And we're just going to team up with our guy, act as a bit of a pain in the butt. And we're going to jump up here, get the high ground, switch to the cannons, and fire down into him. Put the pressure on with the 100mm, let our guys be able to move in. I applaud this guy. He is trying his heart out to get that fight going on our side, but he's just struggling, unfortunately. So we're gonna move back over here. We see that the timer's basically in a spot we can't do anything. I think some of his team is having problems because they're just trying to capture spots then fight. But that happens sometimes. So we're going to throw some fire down that way. And I'm going to move up to support my guy. And and our friend respawns here. And we're just going to have to turn and face him. In a straight up melee, we're not going to do snot to him. Because I throw hopes and dreams at him. And he uses superheated plasma. So it's a little bit of a disadvantage. So we're going to just throw some of that damage in. I switch over to the hundreds because I don't want to get my guy. Dodge that bazooka shot that was coming my way. And we're just going to keep bobbing and weaving, and we're going to get taken out, as I said. So, first death. So we're going to spawn in at our base so we can give a little bit of support to our guy here, take him out. We have had number 1 have a disconnect, so we're fighting at a slight disadvantage in terms of personnel. And I jumped up here initially to try to take a shot, but I'm like, you know what, I'm going to hit 3 and mess him up in the middle of a fight. Let's just try to move forward, see if we can get something else more useful in play. I see 5 is going in there. So what I'm going to do is just reposition myself. I see the cannon over here, and we're just going to fire directly into him, catch him with 1 and a little bit of splash, try to ward him off, and then turn and try to help our guy here. Fire, take him out, switch over to the hundreds, and start putting pressure immediately on this other Gelgoog. We're going to fire over his head, but I'm a little bit concerned about the man to my left, so we're going to push up, keep those guns in play, just using them as a way to push off our targets. Switch over, fire, miss. I'm not going to get too concerned about this guy, but we're going to throw the fire at him, then turn and start badgering this guy who is a champion. If you know him, tell him I give him a double thumbs up for the fight he put up. And we're going to put those shots into him, trip him up a little bit. Unfortunately, he's in a bad situation, being double teamed. And, of course, his teammate is over here being double teamed. A bad situation overall. We're going to jump up here, switch over to our cannons, pre-fire a little too soon because he went into a charge. Throw out some more of that fire. Come over, fire into him to get him messed up a tiny bit. We're going to see this fight going on over here with our man, I think number 5, who is a complete savage. And, we're going to throw a couple shots to help him, and that's the end of the match. Let's see how we did. So there's our beautiful pose. We got 1 board position and first place. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.